We're joined on GoPSUSports.com with Director of Athletics Sandy Barbour. Sandy, 6 months you've been here at Penn State. Your general impressions of the community, the support for the athletic program, and what do you like about it?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tony, the last 6 months have just been lights out. It's been incredible. You've all heard me use the term drinking from a fire hose. It's been a lot, but since arriving on August 18th on this campus, I've gotten to enjoy the incredible passion of not only the campus but the community. Our students are absolutely phenomenal, and just across every sport venue, the intense passion for success for our student athletes and for excellence at this university, and that ekes out into the community everywhere you go. People want to talk about Penn State, want to talk about education, want to talk about excellence, and of course want to talk about athletics and winning and our great student athletes.
A big piece of that puzzle are the coaches. You've had an opportunity to get to know the coaches of the 31 teams. Your general impressions of that group of people? Seems like such a great group on the field, off the field, and their success speaks for itself, obviously.
It absolutely does. They're educators first, which I knew. I mean, that was the reputation, that is the reputation of Penn State Athletics, as led by our head coaches and our coaching staffs, and I've certainly not been disappointed in that. Great people, first-class people first and foremost, great teachers, experts in their craft. I would say probably the one thing in the first 6 months is I haven't gotten to spend enough time with them, and I certainly look forward to that in the future. And over time, we certainly will get to know each other, but really great leaders, and proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with them.
You've got 850 student athletes on the campus. Their results speak for themselves on the field and in the classroom. You're at a ton of events, see you everywhere. What do you like about this group of student athletes and working so closely with them?
Well, you know what? They're dedicated to Penn State. They're dedicated to being better every day in the classroom. They're dedicated to achieving excellence and doing what it takes to do that in their particular sport. And probably the one surprise, and obviously a very pleasant surprise, is how dedicated, how involved they are in their community on behalf of Penn State, on behalf of Penn State athletics. I'm getting ready to experience my first Thon. Really looking forward to that, and something that I've learned about this campus's and this student body's dedication to cause-based.
Penn State received some good news recently with the Big Ten bowl revenue coming back into play. What type of benefit does that do for the program, for the school in general, and what do you see moving forward from the financial point of view?
Well, we're always trying to create more resources. Probably the biggest challenge in college athletics today is on the expense side, is on what it actually costs to run, particularly a 31 sport, 850 student athlete program. I mean, that's more programs than most across the country carry. We're committed to that because we're committed to that experience, but we're always trying to create more resources. The restoration of our bowl monies from the Big Ten, from the conference standpoint, is a piece of that. Obviously we wish that we could roll back and that had never happened at all, because those are opportunities that were taken away from our student athletes to have access to those resources and what they could have done. But we're moving forward. We'll have access to those resources in 15, 16, and certainly we feel like we can put them to good use on behalf of student athletes.
All that being said, how will the cost of attendance and unlimited meals impact the budget?
The meals legislation we put in place impacted us this year. It's about nutrition. Obviously our student athletes expend an awful lot of calories and effort pursuing the excellence we've been talking about. So it's taking away the restrictions on how we can then meet their nutritional needs. And that's been about $1 million proposition in 14-15. We'll continue to assess that and put resources towards that very important element of their success. Cost of attendance, we can put a price tag on that. That's going to be about $1.7 million incremental in the school year 15-16, and so these are significant costs that we're having to undertake and absorb in our budget, but they're really important priorities as they impact students, and so we're going to find a way to get them done.
From here, the next 6 months, you're going to experience another group of firsts, get through your first year. What are you expecting out of the next 6 months to get ready for the 15-16 year? You touched on a couple of things, but what are you expecting?
Well, as you said, it's it's a completion of the one-year cycle. It's going to be the finishing up of our winter sports. It's going to be getting to experience our spring sports. It's going to be getting to experience blue and white. We finished up football recruiting. We're going to have another signing date in April. I think it's probably most importantly, it's going to be for me to continue to get to know this department. Have this department get to know me, learn a little bit more about me learn more about campus and about the community, go through a summer. I've just moved into a house here in State College in early January, kind of getting my feet under me from that standpoint, and just really continuing to learn the community, and then having an opportunity to impact the planning going into 15-16. Obviously arriving in August, it was okay, what have we got on the books, folks, and how can I help? Going into 15-16, there'll be a lot more opportunity for me to influence and impact our plans moving forward. We're going to really dive into a strategic plan for the department, as well as some issues around facilities master plan that will really have an impact on our future. So those kinds of things I'm looking forward to really getting going full throttle.
One final thing before we let you go in part one here. Favorite part of campus that you've experienced so far? Do you have a favorite place you've been?
Wow, I'll tell you what, I've gotten to explore a number of parts. I think Old Main is just an absolutely beautiful building, and then that look out onto the lawn. The Creamery obviously is a great place. I have to admit, I've tried to stay away. That could be really dangerous for me. And then I think we've really got some special athletic venues. My first time in Beaver Stadium with a full crowd was probably a moment I'll never forget. Rec Hall. And just the energy that is created there with gymnastics and volleyball and wrestling, and then I think the BJC a couple of Sundays ago, Penn State versus Iowa in wrestling, that was a special moment.
Sandy, thanks for your time. We'll check back with you soon with part two.
Absolutely.